What in the world is going on with you guys right now? This is your boy Narik and MademB, and we're going to be reviewing the American Horror Story Season 1 Murder House. I'm sorry for being a little bit goofy right now, but sometimes you got to be a little bit silly about the things that we're getting into. Go ahead and say hi, Miss MademB.
Hello, you guys. How are you doing?
Fine. Yeah, they said fine. Okay. We're doing pretty good too. Let's get on down with it. Okay, now the season 1 of American Horror Story follows this family named the Harmons,
The Harmon.
the monsters. I mean, the Hermans,
Harmon.
The Harmons, who end up moving into this house, this mansion in this one said town, and we are moving from Boston to Los Angeles to start their new life in this beautiful Victorian mansion, which they do not know is actually called the murder house due to the many bodies that have been accumulating over
Many,
years.
many, many, many.
Many murders and deaths that's been accumulating in the house over many years, and of course, strange things ends up jumping off. So, without further ado, we got the introduction to this review. Let's get on with it. Now, the Harmons. What do you think about them? Because the Harmons are Ben, Vivian, and Violet.
Mm-hmm.
Ben's the psychologist or psychiatrist.
Yeah.
Yes. I guess Vivian is the stay-at-home mom, and Violet is the rebellious yet fiery teenager. And already,
I mean, she's not really. She's like rebellious toward them, but she's more like in a depressed stage.
yeah. And of course, they're already dealing with dysfunction as it is because,
Which is why they moved.
yeah, Ben ends up sleeping with one of his former students. You have Vivian, who had a miscarriage,
Mm-hmm.
and Violet, who I guess is trying to adjust to the move as well as deal with the dysfunction between the parents.
Yeah.
So that about sums them all up. But what's more interesting outside of their family dynamic, which at times can be a bit warm-hearted here and there when they're not fussing and things aren't jumping off crazy, are the other more, I say, vibrant cast of characters that are around them and around this house. One of the first characters that we do meet is Moira, and she is the maid.
Hold up. Is that the first character that they meet?
No, I'm saying one of the first.
Okay.
It's Moira. She is a maid that's been a maid at the house for years,
Mm-hmm.
and we end up finding out about her backstory and how she's connected to this house too, which is also a very tragic story. Also, that's very unfortunate. Moira is actually Moira is actually a ghost who ended up dying. I'm not sure if it was in the house. That's the part that kind of got me. Like, did she die? In the
Yeah,
house?
she got killed in the house as they show throughout the episodes. She was actually sleeping with one of the other characters, which is
Constance.
yeah, and they come over and like throw themselves into the Harmon's life
Mhm.
because of the house and I guess other things, trying to be like that good neighbor.
But this was what got me kind of confused. Constance died. If Constance died in the house, why did they never brought up the husband again? Because he died too. So I was
Mhm.
like, did he die in the house next door? And she buried Constance over there? 'Cause I know her body was
Not
there.
Constance.
I mean, did Constance bury Moira in over there? 'Cause I do know at one point, I do know her body is in the yard somewhere because remember they did build something over it.
Yes, her Moira's body is in the yard. She okay. Constance, of course, killed her and the husband. They were sleeping together.
Hmm.
But was it in that house or was it in her house that she stayed in next
Yeah,
door?
that's what I was asking. That's what I'm thinking. It was in her house, and then she buried Constance over there knowing Constance would come back, but she couldn't leave. Um,
Yeah, well, sort of like a big fu.
Yeah, like a big punishment. And Moira was actually one of the more sympathetic characters, even though she did do her share of dirt too. She did a lot of dirt actually.
Yeah.
What was interesting about her character was, to the men she looked like an old woman.
No, to the
women she looked like an old woman. To the men she was like this fiery, hot, passionate, seductive. This very hot, young, attractive woman. So, that was a pretty interesting twist too. That's why I did, for the most part, probably I did kind of like her because she was a bit of a sympathetic character, and even though
I mean, she did try to poison Ben.
She did bite that one dude junk off.
Yeah, I mean, she was actually, as a ghost, she was actually, pretty hardcore. She was trying to seduce Ben. Mm-hmm. So, she was, she still has her little fiery side.
She got her dark side, too, because, like I said, she did try to seduce Ben. She did end up helping somebody get killed.
So, I mean, sympathetic a little.
You know what? She's a douche when she's not around Constance. When Constance shows up, that's when you see her more as a sympathetic character, because Constance go off on her. Reminds her how that she's dead and it's all up to her. Which Constance is a very unlikable character.
Yeah, she's kind of like
she's just extreme.
I really don't know how to actually describe her.
She Miss Extra. That's what she is.
Yeah.
That's her in a nutshell.
Her and her daughter. I guess that's how they met. Her daughter Addie had hid in the house or was running in the house. Like, she has a habit of running, and she was going over there to find her or get her or something like that.
I think she had a connection with the ghost, so she could kind of communicate.
And she had like Down syndrome.
Yeah, so I think that played a really heavy part about that. And Addie was alright. She was an alright character. Again, a sympathetic character because her mother was really extreme towards her too.
Yeah.
Again, Constance was like one of them. Constance is like the antagonist, but she's not like a villainous antagonist. I don't know. She was a big douche. She is literally one of the biggest douchebags.
What do you think about Vivian?
I liked Vivian. I seen her more as a sympathetic character. I even liked because the things that she was going through wasn't really her fault. Like, stuff that she was going through, she had to deal with. Being considered crazy wasn't her fault. Doing what he was doing all the dirt he was doing, wasn't her fault. Her daughter being rebellious really wasn't her fault. Them being put in the situation that they were in really wasn't her fault.
Yeah, she even tried to.
She's like
after all the stuff that went on, after that, and after they get settled into the house, and she even tried to at one time after the real estate agent. That's what I was trying to get at before. She's only responsible for telling them of the recent, how they're supposed to tell if there's been any murders or anything in the house. Of course, she only told about the recent ones, which was the two gay guys. She didn't tell about all the ones that happened. Otherwise, I don't think they would have, because she was trying to unload it anyway.
And I kind of felt sorry for the real estate lady, too. She did a little dirt, but I kind of liked her, too. The officer guy played by Morris Chestnut.
Yes.
Chestnut. I liked his character, too. And you can honestly see, he ends up growing this relationship with Vivian. And you kind of actually want to see it go somewhere. Because Ben is just a dick. He keeps just doing all this crazy stuff. And not saying Ben is like a bad guy.
I mean, he's actually, if he's not like with a patient, he's on the phone with that girl who keeps, one of his students who he had an affair with, who then said she was pregnant.
Yeah. Hayden attracts them down, and she becomes this antagonistic force. too. And she's kind of a sympathetic character because she's young. He kind of did take advantage of her, but now she does kind of come back.
Yeah, she comes. She wants Ben.
She is just crazy. She's next to Tate and next to Constance.
And who is Tate?
Tate is Constance's son, who ends up being revealed to be a mass murderer. This kid went and shot up a school.
Mm-hmm.
And he did it to prove a point to his mother. But I'm like, well, why you just didn't kill your mom then? Why you shoot all these random people?
Mm-hmm. And it is later revealed that Tate
is also dead. He's a ghost. So there's
So
that
the
too.
thing is, because if you get killed in Murder House, you come back as a ghost. They were actually staying in Murder House when Tate was in school, so that's why. Constance, she still wanted that house for some reason.
She wanted the house mainly because of Tate, because he was still tied to the house. Because remember when Addie got killed, when she got ran over by that car.
Yeah, she tried to take Addie to
the house before she died. But she died before she got to the house. So there's that. There is that.
So they was staying up in the house. So and
I think at some point, yeah.
Before all that.
Yeah.
So that's why Tate is tied to the house, because who the officers killed him, or did he kill himself?
I think he offed himself. No.
They shot him up.
Yes, he did that. Yeah, he did. Yeah. So okay, yeah. Tate, but Tate, he ends up coming off as a nice character at first, but when you see more into his character,
right? You would actually believe he's kind of this really depressed kid.
He's nice, but he's depressed. But then you go back and read you see what he does.
Right.
Like, he's just a douchebag.
Right, which is why Violet takes to him so quickly.
Mm-hmm. And it's most unfortunate what happens to Violet. In fact, the whole family, we're going to spoil this. The whole family dies by the end of the season. That's straight up it. In fact, like all of them died in like 2 episodes. Violet,
not really, but
Violet died. And it's great. It's so smooth how they did it. We didn't know she died. It was like 3 episodes before she even knew she died.
It was like on into almost to the end of the season.
Yeah.
I remember, because they did it so smooth you didn't even see it.
It's like you kind of did, but you didn't see. It's like they showed like the beginning of it, but then it was like she was good after that.
Yeah, like
but,
okay,
And it was. And remember, I'm sorry, I kept laughing when they showed what she looked like. This girl literally overdosed on pills, and that's what killed her. Tate hid her body in the attic. And her body...
Attic or basement?
In the attic.
Oh, okay.
And her body... in the show, it was literally weeks before she found out she was actually dead. Which is why her body looked the way it did when they found her.
Mm-hmm.
Vivian unfortunately passed because... complications at birth.
Mm-hmm.
She was birthing twins. One of the twins died.
Which was actually... one of her babies turned out to be the Antichrist.
From Tate.
From Tate.
Tate ended up basically, I don't want to say raped her.
He did.
But
because he was dressed up as in a rubber suit, which you will see throughout the episode sometimes with maybe a little part with the gay guys and
brings back up Tate was the one that killed the gay guys.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, Tate is when you find out about Tate, you'll hate his character.
Like throughout the season, they like as it starts, like as the episode starts, you see parts from before the Harmons moved into the house. Or,
it goes from a pet present to past.
Yeah. So. Like you'll see a part about the 2 gay guys, homosexuals. The doctor and his wife, which turned out to be they were given illegal abortions. Oh, hush. Abortions.
There was the previous owner who burned himself and his his wife and his child.
Yes, and it was also actually a college dorm about the nurses. It's actually
It's pretty dark. That house has some people in it. And again, like I said, we have Hayden, who comes back as an antagonist after she dies.
yes, the burnt man actually killed her to keep from he want Ben to do something.
I know he. Well, I'm trying to figure out what. I know he was warning him about the house, but then after that, he was like, "Okay, you owe me money for killing her."
Yeah.
So it was like, "Oh, okay," but then the burnt guy, what's his name? Larry. Larry actually had an affection for Constance.
Yes.
So again, Constance is just. I don't like Constance. I don't like Constance. I don't like Tate. Larry was all right. He was like a sympathetic character at first, but then he started doing his share of dirt. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't finish. Well, Vivian died from giving childbirth. One of her babies died, but the other one, Tate's baby that was in her, survived. But she died, I guess, because she bled out, hemorrhaging and stuff. Hemorrhaging. And then...
Okay, so she actually became a ghost of the house.
And then Ben, before he could leave with the child, Hayden killed him. Because she wanted to be with him. So it's just a cluster bomb of just death and destruction in this house. And that's just basically it. I mean, it's an interesting and
I mean, it's actually like it has a little bit more like the characters who are a little off. It didn't it hold up. I was thinking about the woman, the Black Widow.
The Black Widow.
Or she. If I'm thinking about another movie.
The Black Dahlia?
The Black Dahlia.
Yeah, right there.
Okay, good. So it's the Black Dahlia, the
like they tied the Black Dahlia to it, to the story.
In some way.
Yeah. I thought that was interesting. The whole Antichrist thing, I could take it or leave it. It wasn't really that important to me.
Okay, I mean, maybe not. It didn't have to be the Antichrist because Tate, who was dead, had sex with a live woman. Would that produce an Antichrist?
I think it was the day Halloween.
Yeah, the day the dead was allowed to walk.
I think that's when he did.
Which is why all the school kids he killed showed
up. And they actually showed what the school kids that he killed, Tate killed. They showed what they look like, especially that one dude that took a shotgun to the mouth.
Yes.
Ooh, I felt sorry for him. But then again, it was kind of funny because that one guy, when he started shooting everybody, the one guy was like, "Dude, you need to stop this," and he just blew him off his feet. I was like, okay. And Tate, and I like this. I didn't like Tate and Violet. I'm sorry I didn't, because I started not liking Tate. And I didn't like Violet because it was like their parents are going through this issue and you're kind of being a little bit selfish. But then it turns out, she ends up dying. So I started being more sympathetic to her. After what Tate does, and also puts Violet in a situation where this guy killed people, but I still like him, and how that evolved. And I started not liking Tate once again because it's like you sit here say you love this girl, and you'll quote unquote wait for her forever.
Yeah, and then like you'll see at the end where Tate and Hayden are like looking.
They're locked outside.
They're locked outside. It's a little trick.
Yeah.
Tate showed Violet so where they can't come in, and she ended up using it back on him, which was kind of good.
And the story does end off on a very sad note. Of course,
with the baby,
all of the Harmons are all dead, but they all stay in the house, and now to keep people from also suffering their fate, they scare everybody off.
They scare everybody off.
And Constance ends up getting a baby,
which was the Antichrist. He ended up murdering his nanny. Whatever goes on from there.
Anyways, guys, that's our recap / review of American Horror Story Season 1.
If you didn't get all you needed to get out of this, Please watch season 1 of American Horror Story.
It's great.
It's good.
So, guys, in the comment section below, haven't heard what we had to say. Let us know what you think about the American Horror Story Murder House, and we will catch you guys later. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and to keep us posted. Well, we'll keep you guys posted, or however you say those things. We'll catch you guys later. Narik, Chase, and MademB signing out.